and welcome to bexbugoutsurvivor, and you join me in a series of very quick kit reviews. And yesterday I was passing a shop that sold bags like this, and rucksacks, handbags, suitcases. The last place you'd expect to find any useful kit anyway. In the window, everything half price, and some a couple of things that I personally haven't seen before, and they're charcoal powered hand warmers. Now each of these were half price, or marked half price, so I bought two of the models. Here's the full instructions. I've opened them and I've tried them, and they're very simple to use. These are the refills here, just charcoal refills. All you need is a lighter. There's more refills in here, and a couple of little, they look like glasses cases. Okay, remember £2.50 each. I couldn't really knock them. Let's just have a look at the cases first. The one on the left is by Pyke of England, and the one on the right here is by HighLamda. So two very trusted names in the field of hiking. Let me just open you up this one here first. This is the Pyke, and as you can see, I've already had a burn in here. A stick of charcoal, you light it, you close the lid, you put that in your pocket or wherever it is you need to get some warmth. This is HighLamda, again another trusted name. This already has a stick that's semi burnt down. We'll get him moved out for now, and we'll light both these up. Now, when I tested these last night, they stayed warm for about an hour. I think they're meant to stay warm for 6 hours, but as you can imagine, lit charcoal in there, and there's no air that can get into this. I think you extinguish the air and they go out. But if you just want an hour to get your hands warm, or to maybe put on, like me, if you've got a bad back, I just slip this down my pants and I can walk around with it, and it just heats very, very warm, but it doesn't get hot. It's not that kind of warmth. It's just a warmth, a mild warmth. I think we'll go ahead and light the Pyke up. These £3. I got the refills for the HighLamda, but the Pyke already came with a little velvet bag and the charcoal sticks. I'm just going to light one up. Let's put them in there for now and put these back. Now then, it does say you can light one end of this, or you can light both ends. I'm going to light both ends because it doesn't offer a hell of amount of heat. It's just a warmth. Let's see if I can light this on camera. It's not the best kind of lighting. Now once it's lit, it'll glow an orange, and I keep blowing on it until it's burning about 1 centimetre down. And do the other side as well in the same manner. Just turn that over and do the same again. That end's going pretty good. Like I said, they do recommend you burn this for about, until it goes down about 1 centimetre, 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to pop that back in its little case like that. and there is room for 2 of these here if you want twice the amount of heat. And close it up, and in a minute or 2 this should get nice and warm. I'm going to light the other one up. This is the HighLamda, and it works exactly the same way, but for now with this Jack Pyke here, this is going down the back of my pants because really chronic back pain, and if anywhere I need heat, it's right here. I think there's 12 in here. I want to light 2 of these up, 1 on each side. Okay, and this is, I think this is the HighLamda. It's lit both ends, so's the other one, but this one has snapped. Doesn't matter though, I just want to see if it will accommodate 2 of these. Okay, I did manage to get 2 of the sticks in, charcoal sticks, double deckered, and just about shut the lid, and they're burning both ends. Now if you're going to burn both ends, it's going to burn twice as fast. Okay, I'm just going to swap this one out from where the Jack Pyke is in my back and see if it doubles up the heat. Ow. And the Jack Pyke is warm. Let's have a look at it after a few minutes. To me it feels pretty cold. It's barely warm, barely warm. Now the Jack Pyke charcoal it came with lights a lot easier, and the HighLamda just took longer to light. Now I've had a look on eBay, and with the charcoal they're around £7 or £8 for each of them. But years and years ago I used to have a liquid fuel hand warmer, and it was made by Zippo. So I've done some investigation, and they reckon there's one on the market even better than Zippo, a British brand which I now believe is being manufactured somewhere in China, but I am assured by the makers that the quality remains the same. Okay, that's going again. Pop that back in. Now before I actually snap it shut, there's a little bit of air here. Where I can blow in. I am wondering if this does need more oxygen, and when I click it to, that's clicked to, nothing's falling out. I'm wondering if that is just cutting off the oxygen completely. I'm going to leave it a little open on a jar. Ow, my back is twinging today. I'm going to put that in my pocket, and I just want to see if just allowing a little oxygen into that is going to make any difference at all. Anyway, talking about the liquid fuel hand warmers, I will be investing in a couple of them, and we can even put it in a comparison to the Jack Pyke and HighLamda hand warmers. Now the one I've got double charcoal in, which is now down the back of my pants, is keeping me surprisingly warm. Now these are the cards they came with, full instructions on the reverse. For £2.50 I don't think you can beat it. So at the end of the week I will order a pair of hand warmers that are liquid fuel generated. I had one many years ago, and for some reason I managed to bugger it up, and I just don't know where I went wrong with it. But on reflection, I think I overfilled it or something like that. So maybe you do need an accurate measurement of fuel. Now the one down the back of my pants here, that's nice and warm. I do expect it to go out in an hour or so, but by which time I'll have had the heat on my back for an hour, and really that's what I want. And failing that, I've got a lighter in my pocket. I just relight a couple of ends, blow on it, put it back in, snappy shut, back in there, and I'm good again for another hour. Now then, if you have a shirt pocket, perhaps you could put it inside your shirt pocket, especially if your pocket is on the left, because that will heat your heart, and heating your heart will then keep your fingers warm automatically. The only reason your fingers get cold is your body tells you, I'm shutting down any elements that that doesn't need that much warmth, and your brain thinks, I'm going to shut down fingers, toes, legs, arms, and protect the core here, keeping liver and kidneys and heart warm. And it's your body's way of protecting itself against extreme cold. So one in your chest pocket against your heart, it keeps your heart warm, and then your body thinks, it must be warming up, and feeling will start coming back to your fingers. But if you need more instant finger warmth, yes, then I can get some warmth out of this. That's barely going. The other end's gone out. It's a real shame I can't get these to... I don't know how these are ever going to burn for 6 hours. Maybe I've got a dodgy batch of charcoal perhaps, which is why they're not burning the full 6 hours. Obviously lighting two ends would be 3 hours. But I could live with that. Put that back in this little case. Final little snapshot into the pocket. So for £2.50 each, how could I not have bought them? It's certainly a way of keeping your hands warm. I'd have one in each pocket, you know, like that. Just one coal in each pocket, hands in, winter's day, just holding it like that in your pocket. Oh, well, thanks for joining me on this new mini-series of quick reviews. This has been Jack Pyke and HighLamda hand warmers. Next time you join me, there'll be something else. Until pretty soon, take care of yourself, and I'll see you there. Okay, and welcome to bexbugoutsurvivor, and I'll have an array of hand warmers. Now we've tried the charcoal powered hand warmers, now it's time for these. These are liquid fuel. hand warmers, and they will use the same lighter fluid you'd use for a cigarette lighter. 3 different ones. This is the Peacock from China, the cheapest of the bunch. Mid-price is the Whitby warmer and the famous Zippo. We'll do a nice side-by-side comparison in a second. The famous Zippo in its pouch. We have here, this is the Whitby, and I'll show you the modification I've made to that, and your cheap £5 one from China. It's called the Peacock, and these will stay warm from between 6 and 12 hours, and these work. This one came with, looks something like this, and on the side of the bottle, I hope you can see that, it's not too clear, there's a halfway line. Now that halfway line will give you 6 hours of heating, and to the full 12 hours. I'm right up to the halfway mark. There is a fill in that hole, and I just tip it over and it pours in into that hole. I've just wet some of that material there, and this is the generator, sits on top, and I can pour some liquid fuel just on top like that of the generator itself. Each of these have been trialed, so I know the timings of just how long these last and how warm these get, and we'll talk about which I think is best and what's great value. But these are great once they're warm. Just put in your sleeping bag down the bottom of your feet, especially for those people who get cold feet in a hammock or a bivvy. Just pop it in your sleeping bag. That should be enough. Now what I do is I leave it out of the pocket until that gets warm. I can keep my hand on it, but in a couple of minutes time that'll be so hot it'll be hard to touch it, so I'll keep my eye on that. And I'm just going to have a quick brew. We'll be back with the other two, which is the Whitby and the Peacock, which is an import from China. Well, is it going to be any good? Just going to let that warm up. There you go. Give that a minute or two. Okay, it's just started to get warm. I think it should be a lot warmer than that by now. I'm just going to hit the generator again. Okay, so that's the Zippo. It's not getting as warm as it should. I'll move on to the next one. This is the Whitby, and I've made a modification to this one. Here's what it looks like. It has the flame pattern there. It has a generator, just the same. But here's your fuel filler, which is that rubber bit there. So I'm going to show you how to fuel this. I'm meant to remove that rubber bung there and put this in, but I can well imagine losing that little rubber bung, and if it falls on the floor in the forest like that, you've had it, it's gone. So all I've done is taken out the rubber bung, got a razor blade and just put a slit in that. So now when I push in the filler, tip it back, and I'm going to save a very tiny bit for the generator just to get that going. And when I pull this out, it closes the hole on the rubber bung a little bit just to prime the generator and warm it up. And of course you'd be warming this up off a cigarette lighter, a match, something like that. Now the generator's hot. I'm going to put that on and just see how that feels. Just going to leave it like this to warm up, like we did the other one. Okay, this is the wild card from China, the Peacock. I'm going to lift the generator off this and just pour my 6 hours worth of fuel onto there, generator on, bit of liquid, hit it with the heat, lid on, give it a few minutes. Exactly the same as all of these. This one is warming up. This is the Whitby. So time to put it in its bag. Okay, let's prime up this. Wind's getting up. I'm not quite at the boil for the brew. Same procedure again. So the lid off, the generator off. Now I have read lots of forums of how these work, and there's so much controversy and nobody can agree how they work. So I'm not going to bother explaining it to you, but there is no naked flame once that generator is heated up. Okay, there's no naked flame, but it just stays warm. Once that goes out, there's no more flame, and this will get hot. Now this isn't the original pouch for it. The original pouch was a bit too thick, because this gets hot. Just give that a second. It's starting to go out. The wind's just caught it. And now that's starting to go out, I can think about, oh, you nearly saw that. I saw it glow red. Means it's ready. Okay, that's the Peacock from China. About £4.30, something like that. That's already hot. The Zippo, probably the most expensive, around 15 quid. And the Whitby, around 13 quid. And when you're ready, you just pop them in your pocket. So now I can have one in each pocket. And it is just starting to pick up now, the wind. Starting to get a little cold, so I'll be glad of these. And the great thing about these is what I can do. If you have any aches, pains, injuries, I want to pop mine down the back of my pants, making sure that no metal touches your skin, because it gets hot, very hot. Right, I'm going to take all of these out of the little bags and just let it breathe. These are little breather holes here. And if I take them out of the bags, it allows the whole unit to get pretty hot pretty quick. So that's what I'm going to do here, and my brew's ready. Got far too much liquid in there. Okay, now that each of these have been out for about 5 minutes, I can keep my hand on this one. This is the Zippo. I can still keep my hands on them without the bag. The Whitby. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. And I can still maintain contact with my skin with the import. Now the first time you'll use these, it won't run the full 6 hours if you fill it up at the halfway 6 hour mark. It's second burn, and other burns thereafter you're going to start hitting the 6 hour target or 12 hour target if you fill the little pouring beaker to the top. So with the Whitby, on its second burn, it achieved 5 hours 47 minutes, just shy of the 6 hours, but still I was really impressed. The Zippo didn't achieve the full 6 hours, and like you saw, it's coolest to the touch. The Whitby is by far the best, and it's mid-range in price. So it's a shame the Zippo, which is the most expensive at £15, wasn't either as good as either of its counterparts, even the cheap less than the fiver one from China. Let's fire up the generators again. We're full of fuel. I should have let the fuel sit for a minute or so first. And the same design flaw is on each of these, is this rounded bottom here, so they won't stand upright. Okay, we're back from our walk. Peacock is warm, but I can touch it. The Whitby is, oh, I can't leave my hand on that. And yes, I can still hold this. I'd say with the Zippo and the Peacock, I wouldn't even bother with these. I'd put these straight in your pocket, but I've done that and the lid's come off and my flesh has touched this generator and it's incredibly hot. So you have to be careful. Use them with common sense. This is the hottest, goes back in the bag. I'm not overly impressed with these. Zippo and Peacock. I had that working brilliantly at one point. Whitby, by far the best. Cat hair everywhere. It doesn't come with the cat hair. Okay, now it's between the Peacock and the Zippo. They've both been out of the velvet pouches now for a best part of 40 odd minutes. And this is warm and this is a lot cooler. So even out of the pouches, the Zippo is coming last. Shame. This isn't doing too bad. Like, as you can see, I can handle it with my bare hands. So that's the conclusion. Whitby first. The Peacock comes second, and the famous Zippo is doing very badly. So the catalytic generator is still hot, but it's just not giving out any heat. So that's the conclusion for this episode, all wrapped up nice and neat. But this here is the Whitby warmer. It's never failed me.